Shalom, and welcome back to day 137 of reading the Bible in 52 weeks. Woo! Dear God, let my eyes focus on you. Open my heart. Come into my heart, Lord. I love you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Let's go. Today we'll be reading Nehemiah 10 through 13. In view of all this, we are making a binding agreement and writing on this sealed document containing the names of our leaders, Levites, and priests. Those whose seals were on the document were the governor Nehemiah, son of Hakaliah, and Zedekiah, Sarah, Azariah, Jeremiah, Pashur, Amariah, Makajah, Hattush, Shebeha, Makush, Haram, Merimoth, Obadiah, Daniel, Giddethon, Baruch, Meshullam, Ajah, Mishajem, Mazara, Belagai, and Shemaiah. These were the priests. The Levites were Joshua, son of Azanah, Benai, the sons of Henadad, Canamel, and their brothers Shebaniah, Habidah, Kelena, Bala, and Hanan, Mecca, Reba, and Hashabiah, Zakir, Sherebiah, Shachemana, Hodiah, Bani, and Beninu. The heads of the people were Parash, Parath, Moath, Emma, Zatu, Bani, Bani, Azar, Babai, Abijah, Bizvah, Adan, Adar, Hezekiah, Azar, Hadiah, Hashem, Bezah, Habarat, Adanat, Nebai, Maklash, Makosham, Hazar, Meshabel, Hadok, Jada, Pelakatiah, Hanan, Anahai, Hoshea, Hananiah, Hashia, Halahath, Pela, Shobek, Rebam, Hashaban, Manasseh, Ajah, Hannah, An, Maliah, Hiriam, Bana. The rest of the people, the priests, Levites, gatekeepers, singers, and temple servants, along with their wives, sons, and daughters, everyone who is able to understand and who has separated themselves from the surrounding people to obey the law of God, join with the noble brothers and commit themselves with a sworn oath to follow the law of God given through God's servant Moses, and to obey carefully all the commands, ordinances, and statutes of the Lord of God. We will not give our daughters in marriage to the surrounding peoples, and will not take their daughters as wives of sons. When the surrounding peoples bring merchandise or any kind of grain to sell on the Sabbath day, we will not buy from them on the holy day or the holy day. We will also leave the land uncultivated in the 7th year, and will cancel every debt. We will impose the following commands on ourselves: to give 1/8 of an ounce of silver yearly, the service of the house of our God, to bread displayed before the Lord, the daily grain offering, the regular burnt offering, the Sabbath and new moon offerings, the appointed festivals, the holy things, the sin offerings to atone for Israel, and for all the work of the house of our God. We have cast lots among the priests, Levites, and people for the donation of the wood by our ancestral families at the appointed times each year. They are to bring the wood to our God's house and to burn at the altar of the Lord our God, as it is written in the law. We will bring the first fruits of our land and of every fruit tree to the Lord's house year by year. We will also bring the firstborn of our sons and our livestock prescribed by the law, and will bring the firstborn of our herds and flocks to the house of our God, to the priests who serve in our God's house. We will bring a loaf from our first hatch of dough to the priests to the storerooms of the house of God. We will also bring the first fruits of our grain offerings, of every fruit tree and every new wine and fresh oil. 1/10 of our land's produce belongs to the Levites, for the Levites are to collect the 1/10 offering in the agricultural towns. A priest from Aaron's descendants is to accompany the Levites when they collect the 10th, and the Levites are to take the 10th of this offering to the storerooms of the treasury in the house of our God. For the Israelites and the Levites are to bring the contributions of grain, new wine, and fresh oil to the storerooms, where the articles of the sanctuary are kept, and where the priests who minister are, along with the gatekeepers and singers. We will not neglect the house of our God. Now the leaders of the people stayed in Jerusalem, and the rest of the people cast lots for 1 out of 10 to come and live in Jerusalem, the holy city, while the other 9/10 remain in their towns. The people blessed all the men who volunteered to live in Jerusalem. They are the heads of the province who stayed in Jerusalem: but in the village of Judah, each lived in its own property in their towns. The Israelites, priests, Levites, temple servants, and descendants of Solomon's servants, while some of the descendants of Judah and Benjamin settled in Jerusalem. Judah's descendants: Adahah, son of Uzziah, son of Zechariah, son of Amara, son of Shephatiah, son of Mahlil of Piercer's descendants, and Massa, son of Baca, son of Kazah, son of Haziah, son of Adiah, son of Jorabib, son of Zechariah, descendant of Shilonah. The total numbers of priests' descendants who settled in Jerusalem was 468 capable men. These were Benjamin's descendants: Salah, son of Meshullam, son of Jod, son of Pedadiah, son of Koliah, son of Maaseiah, son of Ithiel, son of Jeshusiah, and after Gabai and Saleh, 928. Joel, son of Zachariah, was the officer over them, and Judah, son of Hasmana, was second in command over the city. Judah, son of Jorabib, Joshin, and Syria, son of Hekiah, son of Meshullam, son of Zodok, son of Merahat, son of Aiatub, the chief officials, God temple, and their relatives who did the work in the temple, 822. Adiah, son of Jeroam, son of Peliah, son of Ammon, son of Zechariah, son of Pashur, son of Malajah, and his relatives, the heads of families, 242. Ashmasai, son of Azrael, son of Azai, son of Meshomath, son of Immer, and the relatives, capable men, 128. Zabadel, son of Haggadam, was their chief. The Levites: Shimeon, son of Hashum, son of Ascom, son of Hashabai, son of Bani, and Shephatiah, and Josabad, from the heads of the Levites who supervised the work outside the house of God: Mattaniah, son of Micah, son of Zadi, son of As, the one who began the thanksgiving and prayer; Bechekiah, second among his relatives; and Abda, son of Shemamu, son of Gali, son of Jeduthun, and all the Levites in the holy city, 284. The gatekeepers: Achim, Talum, and their relatives who guarded the city gates, 172. The rest of Israel, the priests, and the Levites, were in all the villages of Judah, each on its own town, inherited property. The temple servants lived in Ophel, Zia, and Gishpa, supervised the temple servants. The leader in the Levites in Jerusalem was Uri, son of Bani, son of Hashbai, son of Mattaniah, son of Micah, of the descendants of As, who were singers for the service of God's house. There was, in fact, a command of the kings regarding them, and an ordinance regulating the singers' daily tasks. Pethaliah, son of Meshabel, of the descendants of Zerah, son of Judah, was the king's agent in every matter concerning the people. As for the farming settlements with their fields, some of Judah's descendants lived in Kiriath Arba and Dibah and their surrounding villages, and Jekazel and its settlements, and Jeshua, Moladah, Beth Pelet, Hazar Shalah, and Beersheba and its surrounding villages, and Ziklag of Mechanath and its surrounding villages, and Rimmon, Zorah, Jarmuth, and Zoah, and all of them with their settlements, and Lachish with the fields of Azekah and its surrounding villages. So they settled from Beersheba to Hinnom Valley. Benjamin's descendants from Gibeah, Michmash, Ajah, and Bethel and its surrounding villages, Anahath, Nob, Ananiah, Hazar, Ramath, Gideon, Hadak, Simeon, Nebalat, Lod, and Ona, in Craftsman's Valley. Some of the Judah's divisions and Levites were Benjamin. These were the priests and Levites who went up to the Zerubbabel, son of Shedetai, with Jeshua, Sarah, Jeremiah, Ezra, Amariah, Malchah, Hattush, Shemaniah, Ramon, Meremoth, Edo, Giddithah, Abjah, Midjamin, Manadiah, Bilgah, Shemaiah, Jorah, Jediah, Salu, Amat, Hikiah, Jediah. These were the heads of the priests and the relatives of the day of Joshua. The Levites: Jeshua, Benah, Hananel, Shorabath, Judah, and Machaniah. He and his relatives were in charge of the songs of praise. Rebekah, Uni, and their relatives stood opposite them in the services. Joshua fathered Joachim, Jotham fathered Azashib, Azashib fathered Joada, Joada fathered Jonathan, and Jonathan fathered Jodio. In the days of Joachim, the heads of the priestly families were Mariah of Syria, Hananiah of Jeremiah, Meshullam of Ezra, Jonanama of Amariah, Jonathan of Malchiah, Joseph of Shemaiah, Ada of Hariam, Hilkiah of Marioth, Zechariah of Addo, Meshullam of Gibenon, Zeri of Abijah, Pilari of Manasseh of Menaman, Shamu of Bigah, Jehonathan of Sheremiah, Mattai of Jorabib, Uzi of Jedaiah, Kaliah of Salai, Eber of Amok, Hashabiah of Hilkiah, and Nathaniel of Jedediah. In the days of Eshiba, Jodah, Jonathan, and Jodah, the heads of the families of the Levites, the priests were recorded, while Darian's the priest rules. Levi's descendants, the family heads, were recorded in the book of the historical events during the days of Jonathan, son of Eshishib. The heads of the Levites, Hashabiah, Sherebiah, and Joshua, son of Kadmiel, along with their relatives opposite them, gave praise and thanks, division by division, as David of the man of God had prescribed. This included Mattaniah, Rechabiah, and Obadiah Meshiam. Diamond of Akab were gatekeepers who guarded the storerooms of the city gates. These served the days of Joachim, son of Joshua, son of Jadadak, and the days of Nehemiah, the governor of Ezra, the priest and scribe. At the dedication of the wall of Jerusalem, they sent for the Levites wherever they lived and brought them to Jerusalem to celebrate the joyous dedication and thanksgiving and singing accompanied by cymbals, harps, and lyres. The singers gathered from the region around Jerusalem and the settlements of Netophathites, the Beth Gilgal from the fields of Geba of Azmaveth, for they had built settlements for themselves around Jerusalem. After the priests and Levites had purified themselves, they purified the people in the city gates and the wall. Then I brought the leaders of Judah up on the top of the wall, and I appointed 2 large possessions that gave thanks. One went to the right hand of the wall toward the dug gate, Hoshea and the half of the leaders of Judah following, along with Azariah, Ezra, Meshullam, Judah, Benjamin, Sheremiah, Jeremiah, and some of the priests' sons of trumpets, and Zechariah, son of Jonathan, son of Shemaiah, son of Mattaniah, son of Micaiah, son of Zachir, son of Asaphat followed, as well as his relatives, Shemaiah, Azarel, Milariah, Gilali, Maiah, Nathaniel, Judah, and Hani, with the musical instruments of David. The man of God, Ezra the scribe, went in front of them. At the fountain gate, they climbed the steps in the city of David at the ascendant of the wall, and went above the house of David to the water gate on the east. The second Thanksgiving procession went to the left, and I followed it with half the people along the top of the wall, past the tower of the ovens and the broad wall, above the Ephraim gate, and by the old gate, the tower of Hananiah, the tower of 100 of the sheep gate. They stopped at the gate of the guard. The 2 Thanksgiving processions stood in the house of God. So did I, and half of the officials accompanied me, as well as the priests, Elkanah, Maaseiah, Miniam, Micaiah, Eleni, Zechariah, the Hananiah, the trumpets, the Maaseiah, the Shemaiah, Elzar, Uzi, Jonathan, the Micah, Elam, and Ezar. The singers sang with Jerusalem on the leaders. On that day they offered great sacrifices and rejoiced because God had given them great joy. The women and children are celebrated in Jerusalem. Rejoicing was heard far away. On that same day, men were placed in charge of the rooms of the house, the supplies, contribution, first fruits, and tents. The lengthy required portions for the priests and Levites were gathered from the village fields. Because Judah was grateful with the priests and Levites who were serving, they performed the service of their God and the service of purification, along with the singers and gatekeepers, as David and his son Solomon had prescribed. For long ago, in the days of David and Asaphat, there were heads of the singers and songs of praise and thanksgiving to God. So in the days of Zerubbabel and Nehemiah, all Israel contributed the day portions for singers and gatekeepers. They also set aside daily portions of Levites, and the Levites set aside daily portions of Aaron's descendants. At the time the book of Moses was read publicly to the people, the command was found written in that the Ammonite or Moabite should ever enter the assembly of God, because they did not meet the Israelites with floods and water. They did not meet the Israelites with food and water. Instead, they hired Balaam against them to curse them, but our God turning the curse into a blessing. When they heard the law, they separated all those of mixed descent from Israel. Now before this, the priest Elisham had been put in charge of the storerooms of the house of our God. He was a relative of Tobiah and had prepared a large room for him where they had previously stored the grain offerings, the frankincense, the articles of the tents, the grain, new wine, and fresh oil prescribed the Levites, singers, and gatekeepers, along with the constitution of the priests. While all this was happening, I was not in Jerusalem because I had returned the king Ahasuerus of Babylon in the 32nd year of his reign. It was only later that I asked the king for a leave of absence so I could return to Jerusalem. Then I discovered the evil of Ahasuerus had done on behalf of Tobiah by providing him a room in the courts of God's house. I was greatly displeased and threw all of Tobiah's household's possessions out of the room. I ordered that the rooms be purified, and I had articles of the house of God restored there, along with the grain offerings and frankincense. I also found that because the portions of Levites had not been given, each of the Levites had singers performing the service had gone back in its own field. Therefore I rebuked the officials, asking, "Why has the house of God been neglected?" I gathered the Levites and singers together and stationed them in their posts. Then all Judah brought a tenth of the grain, new wine, and fresh oil into the storehouses. I appointed as treasurers over the storehouses the priests of Shalom and the scribe Zadok, and Pedaiah the Levites of Hanan son of Zachar son of Mattaniah to assist them, because they were considered trustworthy. They were responsible for the distribution to their colleagues. Remember me for this, my God, and don't erase the deeds of faithful love I have done for the house of my God and for the services. At the time, I saw people in Judah treading winepress on the Sabbath. They were also bringing in stores of grain and loading them on donkeys, along with wine, grapes, and figs. All kinds of food, all kinds of goods were being brought to Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. So I warned them against selling food on that day. The Tyrians living there were importing fish and all kinds of merchandise and selling them on the Sabbath to the people of Judah and Jerusalem. I rebuked the nobles of Judah and said to them, "What is this evil you are doing, profaning the Sabbath day? Didn't your ancestors do the same, so that your God brought the disaster on us on the city? And now you are recounting his anger against Israel by profaning the Sabbath?" When shadows began to fall on the city gates of Jerusalem just before the Sabbath, I gave orders to the city gates be closed and not open until after the Sabbath. I posted some of my men in gates so that no goods could enter during the Sabbath day. Once or twice the merchants of those who sell all kinds of goods camped outside Jerusalem, but I warned them, "Why are you camping in front of the wall? If you do it again, I'll use force against you." After that, they did not come again on the Sabbath. Then I instructed the Levites to purify themselves and guard the city gates in order to keep the Sabbath day holy. Remember me for this also, my God, and look on me with compassion according to the abundance of your faithful love. In those days also saw Jews who had married women from Ashdod, Ammon, and Moab. Half of their children spoke the language of Ashdod and the language of one of the other peoples, but could not speak Hebrew. I rebuked them, cursed them, beat some of their men, and pulled out of their hair. I forced them to take an oath before God and said, "You must not give your daughters in marriage for their sons, or take their daughters as wives for your sons or yourselves." Didn't King Solomon of Israel sin in matters like this? There was not a king like him among many nations. He was loved by his God, and God made him king over all Israel, yet foreign women drew him into sin. Why then should we hear about you doing all this terrible evil and acting unfaithfully against our God by marrying foreign women? Even one of the sons of Joiada, son of high priest Eshishib, had become a son-in-law of Sanballat of Horonite, so I drove him away from me. Remember then, my God, for defying the priesthood as well as the covenant of the priesthood and Levites. So I purified them for everything foreign and assigned specific duties for each of the priests and Levites. Also arranged for the donation of wood in appointed times in the first fruits. Remember me, my God, with favor. Okay, guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow.